I mean, yeah, no, and I tell my wife too. I just tell her like, when it hits the fan, we're gonna board up all the windows and the front doors, and we're gonna stay put. Anyone that comes in catches bullets, and then we're gonna go and collect. Do what we need to after the fact. But for the first, I would try to push it to a month. Until the power runs out and the water shuts off. I'm gonna try to hunker down
I don't
because
know.
it's either that or get the hell out of Dodge ASAP. But that first initial, there's gonna be so many cars on the highways backed up. Unless you got 4-wheel drive, you're not,
Fuck
you know?
4-wheel drive. I'm getting a fucking excavator.
An excavator?
Push all of them out the way, man. Don't gotta worry about it. Ain't
I
slowing down
know,
for nobody. Ain't
but you're gonna run
nothing.
out of diesel so fast.
That's fine. It'll get me to where I need to go. That's all I know. I literally have it down to the mile marker, what I want to do. So it's all good. TikTok, times a tick and get to it, Raider. Excuse me, fuck off, Cotton. We ain't doing that. Like, there's nobody runs this show but me. That's how it works.
Damn.
And then Texas said, I feel like that one scene from the Avengers, we have a Terry. Absolutely not. I'm not putting my neck out there for nobody. People I have that we've already discussed how anything goes, it goes like that. We know what we're doing. And we've already coordinated how we're going to run it. And it's going to be funny as fuck, too, because we're going to record it because we have GoPros and battery packs, everything like that while we're going about it. So if one of us makes it, because we know it, like we all know each other. We know it's like, we might come to a time we might, have to off one of another because we're just going to be, we have that ego, we have that pride issue, and we don't like taking orders from anybody. But we will work together very well. So we know ourselves.
In other words, in the zombie apocalypse, Raider T is going to literally be a raider. You're going to find a nice family that's surviving, and you're going to be like, let's fuck them up.
Honestly, if it's like a year in and food is scarce, abso-fucking-lutely. I'm kicking the door in, holding them there.
My door in. I don't
We're
want to
not
have
coming.
an awkward
We're not coming
standoff.
for you. I like you. We've been friends
I
for a
mean,
long
I know,
ass.
but how are you going to know when you're indiscriminately raiding for supplies?
I mean, that's your fault.
It's not my fault, because if you didn't know I was there till you kicked in the door with a face full of gun, that's on you for kicking in the door.
Nah. Yeah, we'll have a fucking sticker. We'll put Joan the Raid sticker on the door. But no, they're good.
Yeah, that's the sign.
By the way, merch store has their Joan the Raid stickers. Go ahead and get it. Free plug. There you go. Thank you everybody for joining the raid tonight. You have myself, the host, the most, Mr. Terry, because my co-host is off doing stuff because he had prior engagements. But it is what it is. Tonight we have Randall back with us again, the author of Lucky a Lit RPG, and what's your other book called? I forgot.
Resurrection, a ridiculous vampire isekai.
Resurrection. Randall's a pretty funny guy. He has some pretty dark humor jokes. He doesn't let them out very much unless I start prodding him, and then he just looks at me and messages me all the time. He's like, that's racist. Like, I don't see where it's racist. I don't see where it's racist.
And then I have to tell you how that's racist.
Yeah, and then after
why do I have to tell you how something is racist?
I fucking know. I'm a little fucked up. Now look at it. I was like, oh, I'm the asshole. Gotcha. So yeah.
Every time.
Yeah, he's done it a couple times already, like within the same week, and that's kind of upsetting and frustrating to me. I'm like, wow, fucked up. But yeah, we're gonna be talking tonight about the stories of heroes. We're talking about real heroes, not talking about like politicians or anything like that. We're talking about people that actually did something. We're talking about stories and tales that go back so far back, and then put a little history in there. Because I've come to fucking find out that some people want to be behind a cause, don't even know the basis of the fucking history of it. So they're fucking idiots, in my opinion. I'm gonna say it like that. That is what it is. No, I'm not anybody's fucking hero. If I'm somebody's fucking hero, I swear to God, I'm gonna tell you you're a fucking idiot. That's it.
My hero, Terry.
Fuck off. But yeah. So yeah. So in chat, if you have any heroes from tales of old, like real stories of heroes, like someone that actually stood up for something, did great things, stuff like that, just let me know. Chessie Puller, great man, really great man. My favorite is Mad Dog Mattis. That's just mine. But I knew him and was in the military with him, things like that. But yeah, it's one of those things that I enjoy talking about heroes and things of the past, things like that. Batman is a decent hero, in my opinion, but it's not like the best. He's not the best.
I mean, he is the best. He beats Superman. We can fight about it if you want to.
Here's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. This is that fucking fictional bullshit. Okay, we're talking about realistic heroes, things like that were carved in fucking time. Yeah, we can't prove anything like that, but it was like realistic or not, that stuff like that. But things have been days like there are creatures like this, like back then, and now that we don't know where they are, kind of things like that. Like even you can go. I know people are going to cringe with this, but even in the Bible, like there's the Leviathan, creatures like that were stated in that. So things kind of correlate from all different cultures and things like that. Why are these big creatures like around? But we have no proof that they're here or not. But they're in all cultures and religions across every standpoint. Kind of weird, but it is. It is. Thanks, Zombie, for that raid. I appreciate you, dude. But yeah, so we're going to start it off with you guys. So you guys said Batman, Chesty Puller,
How about Felix Sparks?
Felix Sparks is not, it's not
World
bad.
World War II hero. He was a real person.
He was real. I have a list here that I'm going to go over, but that's going to be a little bit later because I know most people don't even know who these fucking people are. Because most people aren't really military affiliated to any regard, but I had the pleasure to serve with them. But yeah, so we're gonna start off simple. Somebody that everybody fucking knows because of Disney, not even by the real story about him, but Hercules. Do y'all know who Hercules is? Paul Revere was a good one. Paul Revere was a really good one.
Never heard of Hercules, Terry. Tell me about him.
Don't bullshit me right now, motherfucker. You know you've heard of Hercules. You grew up in the fucking 90s like I did. Don't fuck with me. You know you've heard of Hercules. Hercules was an ancient Greek demigod, son of Zeus, known for his superhuman strength and completing the 12 labors as a path to redemption after a tragic event. The thing about Hercules is most people think that, he was born of Zeus and then, that how the story goes from Disney's standpoint, Hades sent his minions to make him mortal, and they fucked up, like any minion does if you don't supervise them. But and then he was basically put on regular humans and stuff, and they raised him up. He's super strong. Had to figure out his groove to figure out how to navigate life. But in the stories and tales, he had to go through the 12 labors, and that story is so fucking good. Most people don't write like that, like stories like that anymore. But it wasn't just 12 labors. He did great challenges, personal challenges for himself, and then facing the 12 labors actually shaped him and made him grow as a fucking person, because he had to deal with loss. He had to overcome so many things that people today don't even comprehend for themselves, that they have to deal with. Like last week we talked about grief, loss, things like that. Like some of us still haven't gotten over some things that eat away at us all the time. So he had to get through all that stuff while still putting on lacing up his sandals, going through everything, being a hero to people that needed him. So in all retrospect, he's kind of badass. He went through it all. Randall, what about yourself?
What about it? What about Hercules in general?
Anything, any hero. You mentioned Batman was the best. Okay.
I mean, as far as like a fictional superhero character is concerned, yeah, I think Batman is the best. And I think he's the best because he's just a regular fucking dude that's rich. The rich part is like a huge, like, that's really his superpower is Batman got money.
Mm-hmm. Batman does got money.
But he's smart. He's a dude that locks himself in a cave with no food or water for a month so he could beat death through sheer willpower. You know what I mean? Like, Batman is dope.
Look, my mouse is not liking me today. But yeah,
So, yeah.
Batman's cool. I agree. Batman is a badass, but I just don't think he's the best.
Who could beat Batman? Let's start.
In the fictional comic book era, I would say, God damn it.
I mean, you could run at Batman with the modern day hero, if you will, but I think that would probably be worse off because he is a comic book hero.
I wouldn't do a modern day hero, but if you put Batman in realistic, like in the real world, he wouldn't do that stuff. There's plenty of people. There's plenty of people out there that have money, influence, everything, that have a tragic background that they haven't done a goddamn thing for people.
I bet if Elon Musk right now started training a bunch of martial arts and got himself a fucking nano bat suit and a sick ass tool belt, I bet Elon Musk could fuck some people up.
You think so?
I think so. I mean, and I hear you, Texas, about the Punisher.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the Punisher He's really got nothing going for him other than he is a fucking psychopath.
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but I'm saying Batman would outsmart him, and he's bulletproof. So most of Punisher's whole like spiel, which is shoot it until it stops moving, would be ineffective. Homeboy's got a cape. You can't fuck with the cape. You know what I mean?
You know, I remember there's plenty of things of like seeing the capes and things like that. And honestly, I think they're fucking stupid. Like, why wear a cape? Like, you know, and I get it. Like, they made it look good for certain instances, but it's not really the best scenario thing to work with. You know,
Capes are hard to pull off. I'll give you that.
they're hard to pull off, and two, it's a tactical disadvantage to have one
In some cases, I feel like Batman really makes it work for him.
in a fictional world.
In a
I'd say.
fictional world.
In a real world,
In
that
real
would
life,
in
you're
real
gonna
life.
trip on it as soon as you try to fucking run anywhere. It's gonna get under your boot and you're gonna break your freaking back.
Yeah. It's not even that. He's gonna catch it indoors. Like, let's say Batman the Batmobile has that fucking cowl and cape on, okay? How does he get it inside the Batmobile every fucking time without catching it on any fucking door, corner, edge, or anything?
Brother. It retracts into his suit.
You know how much money that wastes just to do that? Just for an aesthetic?
We discussed that Batman's superpower was money, okay?
Yeah, I know. But, yeah. Punisher, in real life, Punisher would definitely fuck Batman up.
I feel like
Actually, no. We're talking early Batman before he had his morality fully, or are we talking like, yeah, or are we talking like Batman where everybody knows like he doesn't kill, he doesn't hurt? So like, if we talking about early Batman when he didn't have that real line of morality, he's like, you know what, I'm gonna fix this before you can do it again.
Yeah, but see, early Batman beat people with a lead pipe. Later Batman had more money, more technology, more training, so it allowed him to be less lethal. Batman, he would pick up a random shiv and just stick you in the jugular with it, okay? Like,
yeah.
Old Batman is different.
I think old Batman versus the Punisher, what everybody knows, would be a real good fucking fight, man.
I still think Batman would win.
I think in that scenario, like the older Batman would win. The newer one with his lines and everything like that, so you won't cross him, would get fucked up in so many different ways.
He has so many more like tools at his disposal, though, that a mad dog like the Punisher would easily be caged.
I get that, but it also goes to the standpoint of when Batman beats someone down, they kind of submit. You know, there's that submission in the back of their mind. That's even in their mannerism. They're like, okay, I can't beat this guy.
But don't forget also, though, that even after he went good and got his morality changed, Batman did end up killing the Joker.
Yeah, but there was a line that was crossed there that made him snap. There was a reason for that.
He cried like a bitch about it.
Of course he did.
Because the Joker was his like best friend at the end of the day.
Joke. They had a fucked up. They were fucked up frenemies. They kept fucking each other up. I get it.
Life mates. Okay, like they couldn't even exist without each other. They were like, I don't know. Batman was the wafer, and the Joker is the middle fucking cream shit in an Oreo. You know what I mean? Like without each other, they're good, but they're not as good as they are together.
Yeah, I get that. Your Batman lore needs some brushing up on. Which one? You need to fucking specify which one you're talking about. What's up, Corruption? How you doing?
He's not talking about me, Terry.
He's probably talking about me.
You.
Yeah, probably. I just don't. I don't care for Batman at all. I used to when I was a kid, but
I bet you're a Marvel fan.
I am.
See, how did I know? You probably like Spider-Man too.
No, not really. You're talking about Randall? What do you mean talking about Randall? What are you talking about?
Yeah, what you got?
Because he's the comic book guy here. But yeah, my thing isn't you say you're probably wrong. You don't admit it out loud. No, you fucking look, this is the whole point. Look, everybody looks at me like when I know I'm wrong, I'll just keep badgering people about shit just to fucking piss them off. And that way, like if I know I lost, I'm like, all right, cool, I lost. Now my whole objective is to piss you off to make you snap, so you know you're wrong for snapping. That's just it.
First off, I ain't that serious about Batman. Yeah. I like him, but it's whatever. But also, if I'm wrong about Batman, the only way to correct that is to be right about Batman.
The idea that Batman couldn't exist without the Joker defeats his whole mission. I mean, there were some good enemies for Batman, but you know, there's some good enemies for Batman. The Joker wasn't the only one.
mission exists without the Joker, but I don't think for a second that the Bat could truly exist without the Joker. Yeah, he could go beat up thugs because he wants to avenge his dead mommy and daddy. Like, that part's all dead ass. However, the Joker became the piece de la resistance for Batman because he became somebody that was a symbol for all of that evil and corruption that Batman was trying to fight in the streets of Gotham.
Uh,
PP
mm,
riding to the Joker.
that's crazy. You're talking fucking wild today. That's
Shots
gonna be
fired
fun.
out here.
He's trying his best.
I mean, I hear you, and I guess you could see it that way, but it ain't even about the Joker himself. It's about the dynamic between Batman and the Joker that provides the continuing contrast that is so thematic when it comes to Batman. Batman is constantly, his Bruce Wayne persona is the light, and his Bat persona is the dark. And the Joker is his literal true north that keeps him separating the two. And the Joker's whole existence is in the gray because he's a fucking nut job where he's trying to pull Bruce Wayne into the dark and pull Batman into the light.
Okay. Okay. Nobody was mentioning you, Corruption, but thank you for popping by, but I appreciate you. Telling me Joker is a bigger threat than someone like Darkseid. Darkseid was mainly Superman's fucking villain, not Batman's.
Yeah, that's 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And I
Nah,
see
that's
what you're
something I do
saying.
know.
However, Batman did. That's all fan fiction. Which part is.
When did you start actually reading Batman comics? That's what I want to know. He's a Justice League level threat. Look. Okay, Darkseid, yes, he is. But you have to look at it from the standpoint of he's just talking about Batman. He's just talking about Gotham City. He's not talking about the fucking world of it. He's talking about just Gotham City mainly. That's what he's talking about. Without the Joker being his basic fucking nemesis the whole fucking time for the big things, would Batman be as big? Would Batman be on the same level as well? Because Joker kind of fucking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But he doesn't care. And like the true version of the Joker, not these fucking cinematic versions of him, the true version of him is so unhinged, so let loose. They can't put it in a movie. They can't.
Right.
Like
Nope.
his best depiction of him, in my opinion, was Heath Ledger, but then put aspects of what was the other Joker? The other Joker too. Fuck.
Which one?
I can't remember which Batman movie it was. Like Heath Ledger was him personified in a good way, but it's not the best way because it still didn't touch him at all of how unhinged he really was. Because that Joker, unfortunately, was kind of planned out in certain aspects. There was no real flow to him that actually made me say the Joker was the Joker. Heath Ledger did a fucking fantastic job. Nobody bashing about it, but I'm just saying there was things missing. Especially you come from the comic books who saw how fucked up he could truly be. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm getting at. But yeah.
And I do just want to point out that yes, Darkseid is a greater overall threat than the Joker is, but Darkseid also wasn't living in the same city as Batman. But B, even Batman has a backup for Darkseid just as much as he does.
Yeah.
Or Darkseid as much as he does Superman. You know, when he was supposed to shoot the kryptonite into space or whatever, nah, homeboy kept that shit. He shot an empty, thing out. So I'm just saying, Batman is Batman.
Yeah. Like I said, he's a decent hero. Like I'm not saying he's the worst. Everybody says like, because I don't think he's the best, he's like the worst. That's not what I'm saying. They're way worse. But in this standpoint, I'm always gonna say he's like meh to me. He's not the best. There's better in my opinion, but can I name them like off the back? No, because
Well,
that's
you
not what I'm
said you
talking
like
about.
Marvel. You said
I
you
do
like
like
Marvel.
Marvel.
I like DC because it's gritty, it's dark, and I think the storytelling is better. Tell me why you like Marvel besides fanboying all the movies in the cinematic universe.
I like Marvel before the movies. I like Marvel because originally from the cartoons from like the early '90s, 2000s. That was kind of my thing. I enjoyed the Batman series when they first brought in where Harley Quinn actually originated from. But I liked Marvel more because I like things like the X-Men, like their stories, things like that. And then it went from X-Men, they stopped it, then came out X-Men Evolution when Disney picked it up for a little bit. And X-Men Evolution was a good retelling of the stories of like them from a teenage years to how they're going to become these great heroes and things like that. So they understood how to mingle with regular normal people, be in high school, figure out how to control their powers, always having the struggles, like real mental struggles and things like that, dealing with real life struggles of like just even knowing who they are to figure out what's going on around them. But and then we had X-Men First Class. That wasn't horrible. Was not horrible. I liked those movies. The original X-Men series movies were fucking garbage. I'll say it. I'll fucking say it. Look, the only good thing that came out of it was Wolverine. Out of all those movies, that was it.
I mean, I thought the movies were good, and I do
And the
think
original
X Men.
Sabretooth they had for those movies was fucking great too. I'll say that.
And I do think X-Men is some of the better material that Marvel has. Marvel, my whole beef with Marvel is that all of their characters are literally goody two shoes heroes. That's one of the reasons Batman is appealing, because he started off his career as a vigilante that just straight killed people. Not to harp on Batman. I mean, I'm moving on from him. I'm just saying, like, part of that reason, like, even if you compare, like, I'm trying to think of another, like, DC to compare to. Like, let's talk about Marvel wise. Let's talk about the Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider was, a bad guy or anti-hero, I
Anti-hero.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. In Marvel, but really he was on a broken-hearted mission the whole time. So, like, I mean, I guess Marvel was just a little bit more soft and less that
It
gritty
was.
that I was looking for in DC.
Well, the thing about it is Marvel always will be that soft side. They will because they adhere to a younger age group of what they want. DC is definitely more mature, but I think Marvel's good at pulling people in at first, so you can get the good, happy side, and then see some struggles here and there. And then if they venture off into, like, let's say, like DC's universe, and seeing like things like, oh, I expect this superhero to be this fantastic person, and then they say like, what the fuck just happened? He's like, yep, yep, there it is. Now you're grown now. Now we've ruined it for you. Now you have to keep
Yeah.
reading.
No, I get it. It's like Spider-Man and Peter Parker's uncle getting shot.
Yeah,
They
like
needed
that,
that turning point, that negative turning point. Yeah.
100%. And I think it's a great thing. It's a very great fucking thing of having things like that. Are they traumatic? Yes, they're supposed to be. So let this person understand what it is that made them make these choices, because it wasn't just them of their own. They had to be influenced. They had to be, basically, every hero is created by everything around them in some way, shape, or form. It's either they're in a shitty situation, or they see something traumatic, or they live through such horrible things that they don't know what to do, and they have to say, well, I'm gonna fuck this, I'm gonna fucking get out of this shit, I'm gonna be a better person, I'm gonna make myself better, and I'm gonna prove it. But you know what I mean? And Texas said Iron Man or Batman. For myself, I would always go Iron Man, because he seems to have more money than Batman even does, and he seems to always want to affect and change the world, not just his fucking city. So he has a very wider range in wanting to help, and he's willing to do, like, not wear a mask, not hide behind a fucking mask. Let me say that, because that's another thing too. I don't like the fact that people hide behind masks. So that's the thing. I get the secret identity thing, everything like that. But honestly, if you're all about it, fucking be all about it.
Yeah, but the mask is not about them personally. The mask is about them, about the people in their lives, in their personal lives. It's not that they're hiding behind the mask. It's that they're trying to protect something.
Don't have anybody close to you anymore. If you really want to help somebody, be that hero. So with that, sacrifice it. That's what it's all about in the first place.
I mean, and that's easy to say when you don't have superpowers and you're not saving the world or saving people's lives.
It's not, to me. It's not. And that's just it. It's not. It's not saying be lonely, but don't have
But you
anybody
are
close like
saying
that.
be lonely,
Yeah. Yeah.
because you eventually gonna catch feels,
Oh, of course. You
and then
will. That's
and
how you
then
know
you have
yourself.
this person.
It happens, man. It is what it is.
Texas says, "What about Dan Daly though?" And I looked up Dan Daly, and I don't know if he's talking about Desperate Dan, the Wild West character, or if he's talking about somebody different. But he's not from.
He's a Marine. He's a Marine, right? You're talking about the Marine, Texas?
Yeah, I don't think he's talking about the actual comic book Dan Daly. If he
No.
is, maybe he's into it like
Yeah,
that.
he's
There
a
could be
Marine. We're
a.
not talking about that right now, though.
Okay.
That's going to be something about Memorial Day stuff, man. That's not about now. Just let you know that. But yeah, he's a Marine. He's a good Marine. So that's why. So yeah.
Right on, Semper Fi.
Yeah. Don't say that
That's
unless you're a Marine.
well, my bad.
Yeah, just let you know. I'm just helping you out, son.
I mean,
Oh
listen,
yeah,
listen. I know that that is what because my brother's a Marine. Okay, so everything I know about a Marine is either from what I've learned from you or I've learned from my brother.
I haven't even taught you anything yet. Besides that they eat crowns and they're kind of stupid here and there. They make some
I
dumb
mean,
stretches, but they're funny as fuck. Funniest as fuck. You will never ever. You will regret, but you will never regret at the same time of any stories you have with them.
yeah, no, my brother, and he was the one that said if a Marine is doing something fucking awesome, you say Semper Fi. No one gives a fuck about congratulations. You say Semper Fi because that's what the fuck he's doing it for.
Yeah, there's actually more words than that, and it's funny because most
I'm
people.
sure there is, but my brother's also a jarhead, so when he
Oh, yeah,
told
he
me
is.
that, I got the feeling that he was boiling it down for a stupid level for me. So
Yeah.
if I cross the line saying Semper Fi, well, fuck you. Okay, how about
I'm
that?
just letting you know, just like don't that no, you weren't one. Don't do it. Don't do
Okay,
it. I don't
okay,
even do it. And I was stationed with them and fucking deployed with them. I still don't do that.
I'll correct it. I definitely wasn't one,
Oh,
but
you're good.
I say it out of respect, not out of some kind of weird.
Yeah. You're all good, man. I know you're not doing it out of disrespect, but we're gonna move on. So next one, another one that came to Hollywood, unfortunately, is Thor. Thor, the Norse god from Asgard. He's renowned for his wielding of Mjolnir, and protecting realms from giants, and his adventures in myths involving strength and loyalty. A lot of people see Thor as Chris Hemsworth, things like that from the movies, so that. But I was like, anybody actually gets down to the nitty gritty and sees like the real stories behind it, like there was so much material they could have used to make that whole fucking movie, so those movie series so much better, so much more material they could incorporate like real tradition into it to make it actually more Norse than what they did. But it's Disney and stuff like that. Or who was
They
it? Who's the
tried.
first? Yeah.
They tried because Thor's whole thing, like in mythology, Thor's whole thing was protecting essentially the barrier between the humans and the gods, and he
Mm-hmm.
protected both the humans from the gods and the gods from the humans. So I mean, I think in the movies later on they tried to. I mean, they had to make it cinematic and make it palatable for the masses.
Yeah.
But when they started introducing the multiverse to Thor and the conflict with, it was played by that one Idris Elba.
Oh yeah.
What is that
Heimdall.
character's name?
Heimdall.
Yes,
Heimdall.
yes, Heimdall. When they started introducing that, that is more actually along it, but they
Yeah.
didn't introduce because Thor has this giant palace that kind of like sits in between that he like chills in all the time. And it's supposed to have like hundreds of rooms or whatever. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
I know what you mean. I can't remember what they called it though.
No. No, Son of Odin. I don't. I honestly, I think Norse mythology is one of the mythologies because, like, even when you're in school and stuff like that, you learn a lot of Greek. You learn a little bit of Roman, which is literally like rip off of the Greeks. They just called it different names, but you don't ever really get into Norse mythology too much,
Oh yeah, that's the thing. You have to go about it on your own.
right?
Like no matter what you do, and like it, it's one of those things that I think more people should do. And I say this all the time: is more people should actually go out and look and see what's out there, not just what you're taught in fucking school. Because honestly, they put you in a goddamn box that
Yeah,
it doesn't truly educate you. It doesn't truly show you what intelligence is either, or wisdom. You need to go out there and search for it and try to look for it, at least attempt. Because if it's something that interests you, try and not just say, "Oh, I like this," and then when somebody asks you, "Oh, why do you like? What do you like about it?" and then you're just like, "Oh, I just like this one thing." It's like, okay, and then if it's me, I'll be like, "Okay, cool. Tell me about it in detail, please." All about it as much as you possibly can. And
yeah,
if you need help with that, we'll sit down together for hours and we'll go through this and see if you really like it or not. And it's not me trying to challenge you. It's just me trying to actually figure out if this is something you actually enjoy. Because I did it with the kids, and they looked at me and they're like, "Oh, I love Spider Man." I was like, "Why do you like Spider Man?" And he's like, "I like." And I said, and they said, "Oh, I like this Spider Man right here." I was like, "Do you know who that is?" And it was Miles Morales. And he's like, "Oh, it's Miles Morales." I said, "Okay, cool. Do you know?" I asked him little questions, and he just told me every answer. I was like, "Oh my god, my kid's a nerd. This is fantastic." And
uh,
then go ahead.
Vilskr, by the way,
Say what?
that's the name of the hall that Thor lives in.
Mm-hmm.
Vilskirner.
Yeah,
I looked it up.
I looked it up too. And I was like, I can't fucking pronounce that name, and I'm not being a clip on fucking YouTube.
Uh, Fucking clip me
But,
if there's anything I'm good at. It's being bad.
yeah,
Wrong.
But it's one of those things that I was so happy because like I didn't think they liked any of them like comics. And then I said, "Oh, I'm going to comic book store. Do you want to come with?" And then all of them say, "I want to come with." It's like, okay. So we all went to the comic book store. It's in Jacksonville, North Carolina. It's called Second and Charles. I had to look up where to get decent comics at, and I found it's like cool. It's a big ass building. I was like, Jesus Christ! I thought it was going to be a small little section. I go through there. I find Superman's first edition in there.
Like first print, first edition?
No, not first print. I wish I could find that, but no. Superman's first edition in there. I was like, I haven't seen this since I was fucking like, holy shit, I'm old. And then my youngest one looks at it, who's that? I said, that's Superman. He looks at him, he saw the colors, and his favorite colors were red and blue, and like he saw yellow, he loved yellow, and he's like, can I have it? And I was like, we'll see how much it is, buddy. And then the girls came up to me and was like, oh, I want this one. And she pulled out a Wonder Woman one. And I was like, let me read through it first. Let me read through that first. And I read through it. I was like, you're good. Go ahead. And then the other little girl, she came up to me. She's like, I want this one. It was Iron Man. I was like, sure. Go up to the register, pay for it all. 20 fucking bucks total for all of them to get a comic piece.
Nice.
It's like, not bad. I go on my way home. I've never had a car ride that quiet ever. Ever. And in the moment I park at home, get out, get inside the house, they start going on about what it is, everything like that. It's like, can we go get another one? I was like, we just got home.
Yeah. Man, on our honeymoon, we went to a comic book shop. Robin and I, when we got married, it was obviously for me, and I ended up getting a manga version of Great Expectations by Charles Dickens.
Oh, really?
And on the entire drive home from San Diego to Phoenix, where we lived, I read Great Expectations, the manga. That's
Yeah.
pretty nerdy thing, but it was a very quiet ride, she said. So I totally understand the appeal. And fun fact about Iron Man, he was a personal challenge from Stan Lee. He wanted to make a character, a very unlikable character, likable. And that is the entire spark for Iron Man.
Oh yeah, I knew that, and I think it's funny because he's got a point. All his attributes and his characteristics, if you pull them apart from everything like that, are people what they call as a fucking narcissist.
Yeah, no, he's a douchebag, but you can't help
100%.
but kind of like him.
Exactly. That was wrong with me all the time. Why people like me? That's rude.
I'm sorry. No, Terry, you're the asshole every time.
Exactly. That works for me. That's my dynamic. It's always gonna work like that for me. No, but yeah, I enjoy lots of fucking. Enjoy comic books a lot. But now we're gonna get into the next one. Something that everybody knows. Since Texas brought up earlier, I was waiting to this one. But we're gonna talk about Superman.
That guy.
Everybody says fuck Superman. I think it's funny, but Superman's an alien from Krypton raised as Clark Kent on Earth, symbolizes hope with his powers like flight and vulnerability. Well, he's not really fully invulnerable, but we find out later on, while balancing a dual identity, which to me is fucking stupid.
Yo, his identity. Boom.
Check glasses off.
Yeah.
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 I'm just looking at it, man. In my head, I'm just like, out of all the movies that they still kept going with that every single time. And like all these movies, like he has his high tech everything. Maybe maybe he wears cloaking technology, and that's why nobody can tell. And like when glasses on, it's cloaking technology. You don't know who he is actually. No, it's just glasses. They're fucking plain ass glasses you can get from the dollar store.
He did not have cloaking technology in 1930. Okay.
But I'm saying in the now age and everything like that thought process, how people think, things like that, it would make more sense. Not just say, hey, let's just prove everybody around him's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, and the phone booth with the glass panes in the side of it.
Yo, that was definitely back in the day kind of thing, because that was definitely back in the day kind of thing.
Yo, but his only saving grace is that he's faster than a speeding bullet. Otherwise, everyone's gonna see that some nerdy dude just walked into the phone booth and out popped Superman. Like,
Yeah.
the whole premise is just fucking whack. When you compare him against other superheroes, like, yeah, he's the fastest, the strongest, he's mostly invulnerable other than a very rare mineral.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and those are all great things, but he was such a little goody two-shoes.
Yeah.
Like, Bizarro was cooler than Superman was.
You think so?
No, but
I was about to say.
He might as well have been.
I mean, it is, but it's just one of those things, man. Like, this is the thing. Like, back then, they were just putting out these comics to just. It was it was like a propaganda kind of run.
Yeah,
That's all
yeah,
it was. Just like, be proud. Like, we have this. We have things like this for our imagination and things like that. But it was pushing the American dream of like what we have here. We have this protection. We always have this safety. Propaganda act. And like, I don't blame them for it because it's a smart way of doing things. Like, we did it in fucking, I think it was
Captain
Vietnam War
America
too.
was
Yeah,
cooler than Superman.
absolutely.
And he was just a super soldier with a vibranium shield,
Mm-hmm.
which also makes him kind of lame because of the whole shield thing.
Because he's got a
But
big ass frisbee.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is kind of lame. But being the whole super soldier thing, that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And
It is.
that really was propaganda.
Oh, 100%. It was good propaganda, though. That was the best thing about it. They actually, I looked at it. Because have you seen some of the posters from back then?
Yeah, yeah.
It's Uncle Sam and Captain America together.
Yo, World War II was one of the greatest times for comic books, I think globally. It was a horrible time where there was a lot of loss of life. I don't want anyone to clip me, saying something awful like that. But it was a great time for comic books because there was so much like people needed escapism, people needed national unity, people needed all kind of things, and they were like, "Let's give them a comic book. Let's give them a picture book to look at."
Mm-hmm. It was done right. It was done very well. And I don't think people know, it's just a little tidbit. Like, do you know that the CIA still does propaganda runs?
I mean, via what though?
Using newsletters, things like that. When they're sending out supplies off to other countries, things like that too. They have little propaganda pamphlets and everything like that still. And it's
Okay,
how they that's how they gain certain assets too that want to work with them and things like that. Like little low tier people that just need extra money, cash and stuff like that here and there, like to help survive. They're like, oh yeah, man, we'll start you $1,000. Just tell us what you know. All right,
right?
thanks. Call us back when you got something else. And done.
Yeah.
So yeah, it works out, man. There's so many interviews on it, and I think it's funny because like that's funny. It's something that you think would have definitely died out back in the fucking 80s, at least. It's still going on today. I mean, if it
I
works, it
mean,
works, you know?
well, yeah, but isn't the CIA responsible for most of our spies and stuff like that?
Oh, absolutely.
Our information network,
Absolutely. 100%. They are definitely part of our intelligence gathering network. And, you got to do what you got to do to make sure you know it all because knowledge is power, baby, no matter what.
right? Right? Right?
Next one is Joan of Arc. I know you know a little bit about Joan of Arc.
Joan d'Arc, huh?
Tell
Yeah,
me about
no.
her.
Joan of Arc was cool. I don't honestly know enough to spout too much.
Well, just give me your little snippet about it. You know what you might
Well, I
know.
mean,
Something cool.
Joan of Arc, honestly, like a lot of heroes in history, was plagued with visions, and she thought that her vision was from God, and it helped her to lead armies in war, and they won a lot. I mean, ultimately, she was burned at the stake as a witch,
Yep.
but she was definitely a hero to the French people for quite a bit.
Yeah, she
I mean,
was.
that's kind of what I got off the top of my head for Joan of Arc, man.
Well, you kind of hit on the nail. So, Joan of Arc was the 15th century peasant who led armies to victory based on her visions, becoming a symbol of courage and faith because of her visions believing become from God, and facing immense adversity with those visions because certain people thought these visions aren't from God, they're from the devil.
Right.
So,
I
yeah.
think mostly was the church, right?
It was the church. Even though she was fighting on their behalf. This is what drives me fucking up a wall about certain religions, man. You could do everything for the goddamn religion, but the moment they say, we think that might come from the devil, they fucking fuck you, say, fuck you, you're gone.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
like, they did all this good shit for you and sacrificed so much shit for you.
Yeah, but I think that's also the biggest
Thank you.
without cracking into it, I think it is the absolute pinnacle of the argument of faith versus religion
Yeah.
because I do not think that they are mutually exclusive, and I think that faith can get you a lot further than religion can, but
Okay.
religion gives people the structure to bury their head in the sand with.
Yeah. So let me tell this story. I even forgot to message him and see how it was okay for me to say this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. I'm not gonna bring his name up. So yesterday we were sitting in Discord, and I marked it controversial talks because of certain things we were talking about. We're talking about like Nazi Germany, like certain things of religion, biblical Christianity, Catholic, Mormon, everything like that. And it ended up being a almost 5-hour conversation between all four of us, just going back and forth about it. Like my standpoints, their standpoints, everything like that. One's really religious, and then the other one is not. And myself, I'm not either. And I was like, look, I'm not saying it don't exist, but like I'm just not, because I have my own reasons. And we all went back and forth about it. And I brought up so many things biblically and stuff like that. It's like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? And he's like, all right, kept going down the line with it. It's like, okay, cool. And I had another question for him. And I had another question for him. And I had another question for him. And then he looked at the timer, because in Discord there's timers now, and see how long you're in there. Look at the timer, look over, like, and he's like, God damn it, I've been in here for 5 fucking hours talking about this. I was like, look, bro, I just want to know. And he said the same standpoint of religion and spirituality. He's like, there are good things about both, but the main thing is, are you being a decent person? Are you following the word of God if you are a religious person? And then are you that cultural Christian? And you know what I'm talking about. This the ones that just go to church every Sunday and Wednesday and that's it. And just preach about God to here and there, but you don't follow any of the works. You don't follow the Bible. You don't follow anything like that. So, that's one of those things. And I laugh about
religious, all they have is sin.
it. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where like we started going on, because I was doing research about it. And I was like, why in the Bible did it depict these creatures and stuff like that? And then in this religion over here, they depict this creature. In this religion, they depict this creature. And he's like, because they all correlate. Very interesting. And I want to get him fucking on his fucking podcast for a religious one. Yeah, it'll be fucking fun.
You know who you could try to get? I don't even know if it would be possible.
The trailer?
Yes.
I've been talking to him offline a lot. It wouldn't be a bad thing, but I don't think he'd be okay with how I am actually talking. So
yeah, no, I definitely think that it would be. But let me tell you what, if there is one person who knows in and out about the Bible,
yeah,
man, and because he has a degree in it, right? So like,
yep.
He's so educated on it. Like, because I also keep up with him offline.
Yeah.
I love that we call it offline, even though we are speaking online.
Yeah. And well, when I say offline, it's like, not live. I'm not live,
Yeah.
That's all offline. Everything that's not live is offline to me, because then I can just be.
Real life is not offline.
Yeah. Real life is offline for me. I try to bring as much of my real self to this within TOS, but some call it, some shackles have to be held.
Yeah, I know. I've talked to you on Facebook about the shackles you need to bring, okay?
Look, all I'm saying is I'm not saying it out loud to people. They should be happy.
I'm just saying, half the things you find hilarious are so super racist, Terry.
They're funny. Funny's funny. End of story. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not apologizing for it.
I'm not saying that it's not funny, but you also need to understand that it is racist. And racism is not funny.
Kind of funny.
See, look at you. Kind
of funny. That's all I'm saying. Look, I'm not saying racism is good, but if it's a fucking joke and it fucking lines up right and the punchline's there and it's funny, fuck it. Send that shit. Don't care where the fuck you are. I don't give a fuck. You have my fucking personal fucking, approval to do it to me. If you do it outside of here, not my fucking problem. That's on you. Don't say I said to do it. I said to me. I said to me.
You're talking about being clipped all the time, and here you are endorsing racism.
I'm not endorsing racism. I'm saying funny's funny. Dark humor is fucking funny. That's it. End of story. That's it. Off my soapbox. Dark humor and racist humor can be fucking funny. Don't be a goddamn snowflake. End of story. Words are fucking words. Don't get fucking butthurt about it. Nobody's fucking actually attacking you. That's it. Sorry, I just went off. I just realized I got really loud for no reason right now. Woo.
No, you're good, man. I get it. And I'm less concerned. My biggest concern about those interactions with you are the fact that you don't know that it's racist.
Yeah, it is what it is, though. I'll be fine. It's not a big deal.
And I know, and I can appreciate that you appreciate the dark side of humor, but it's those moments where I'm like, it's funny, but it's racist. And you're like, wait, that's racist? How is it racist? That part, I don't know.
It
blows my mind, man. You're just not aware of it.
I mean, I think, man, dark humor has been kind of a thing for me for so fucking long. And it's helped me get through some really hard times. And it's just a good coping mechanism that doesn't hurt anybody. from what I know of, because nobody's really came to me and said, "Oh, that hurt my feelings when you said that." Usually, just look at me and is like, "Are you okay?" That's the most that happens. Like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, and I mean I get it, and I'm also not one to have a thin skin about things. I just try to be emotionally intelligent and aware.
I try my best to when it matters, but when it doesn't matter, like as everybody knows, I take things very seriously at times, or a lot of time. But when I'm joking around and stuff like that, I don't believe there needs to be that seriousness, and that's where I let go and let loose. I don't do it everywhere. Surprisingly, I'm actually surprised I don't. But I believe if I'm in a certain scenario with certain people, and I know their sense of humor is fine with it, then I'll just fucking let one fly. And it's just funny to me because like, and seeing somebody's reaction sometimes of just like, and they look at me like, does he know he's black? Yeah, say certain shit. Yeah, things like that. It's fucking funny to me. I'm not really attacking anybody. I don't really hate anybody, but it's just fucking funny. But that's just it. Because like me and my friend last night, we were sitting in Discord together, and I made a fucking fuck up joke. It got quiet for a second. I'm like, oh, I crossed the line. I could tell, and she's like, oh, cross the line, and then they start laughing. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm like, you good? She's like, and they just like confused and said, fuck you. I'm like, it's just funny. But yeah, back on the topic, since a lot of people, because I see it all the time online, and I got pissed off, and so I started to interact with a couple people. I wish I could show the chats from doing this. But I asked them to say, is it okay if I screenshot this and use it? They're like, absolutely not. So, okay, cool, that's fine then. I won't use it, but I will tell a story about it. On Twitter, or X, whatever you want to fucking call it, there's a lot of activists for Black Lives Matters, things like that. So I asked them why do they think they're right on certain aspects of it, because I told them I believe Black Lives Matters shouldn't be a thing. I think it should be more everyone involved, not just the black people. And that's just my own standpoint on it. And most people
Smart
think I'm
choice
fucking
of
crazy
words.
for it. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So I practiced this part just to make sure I wasn't getting fucking reported. Damn it!
Don't say it. Don't say it.
So I said like that, and they said, "Well, why would you say it like that?" They said the black people are the most oppressed out of anyone else. Like, okay, so do you know the stats on how many black people are actually in America? Like, what do you mean? Like, black people make up about 35% of all of America. So technically, they're not the majority of what the problem is or where their problem stems from. But unfortunately, the stats show that they are 50% of the crime rate. Do you know how uneven that scale is? And they kind of they lost their shit on me a little bit. I was like, look, I'm saying as a black man, that's why I'm saying this, because I feel like it's not the same for me as it is for all you. But I want to understand why you support it so much. And then we went down the history lesson. They told me like, well, it started back here. I was like, okay, cool. Do you know who? I asked, did you know who Harriet Tubman is? Someone who actually did something for black people in America. And they said, who the fuck is that?
No, they didn't.
Yes, the fuck they did.
Man, even I know about Harriet Tubman. And, well, not that that's a weird thing, but,
Yeah.
as a random white dude.
Exactly. I'm just like, how do you fucking not know this shit? It's like, cool. I said, she was considered the conductor of the Underground Railroad, and they're like, well, what's that? And in my head, I'm like, you keep preaching that black people were enslaved. You keep preaching that they were, all this bad shit happened to them back in the day, even though it was the social norm back then. Now they know it's not right anymore. So we're not doing it anymore. So how do you not know the woman who tried to free all the fucking slaves?
Hey, and she also got visions and heard voices that she thought was from God.
She did. She did. I was gonna leave that part out because yeah, I didn't know too much about that one, but yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a historian by any means, but we were talking because Joan of Arc. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's
Yeah, it
another
kind of correlates together a little bit there. I see
yeah,
that. I see what
famous
you did there.
female that got
Yeah.
instructions from God.
Yeah, it is. It might be a thing. But Harriet Tubman was the American abolitionist, words are hard, abolitionist and conductor of the Underground Railroad, who escaped slavery and then guided many other slaves to freedom while serving as a spy. Think about that. While serving as a spy.
Yep, for the Union Army. Sure enough.
So it's one of those things of, even back then, they kept saying black people were oppressed, but they still did great fucking things. So what's the difference, even though they have more of an opportunity now? And that's what I led up to with this conversation with them. And they stopped replying. They fucking stopped replying after I sent this stuff to them. And I'm just like, what's wrong? And they're like, I was like, okay, cool. Hey, so can I screenshot this and use it for something I'm doing later? And they're like, no. I was like, okay, cool. Thanks. That was it. I was like, cool, that's it. I literally instantly almost reposted the whole fucking thread just so everybody could fucking see it. I was like, I'm not that petty. I'm not that petty right now. It's all good.
Damn.
Yeah. But it's just one of those things. It's like, how can you say you're behind something and believe in something, but you don't fucking know the basis of anything?
I mean, and she was also a huge proponent for women's suffrage.
Yeah, she was.
Right to vote, which, I mean, like, I feel like a lot of people maybe take for granted as far as, like, the civil rights movement and stuff. That, after the Civil War.
Man, most people don't even know how the Civil War even fucking started, and it fucking pisses me the fuck off. And then they fucking also, no, I'm not going on this fucking roller coaster. God, nope. I know myself. We're talking about heroes. We're not talking about the past right now on this fucking, on America's social set.
I mean, you are talking about past heroes, so.
Yeah, I am, but what I was going to say is going to be some fucking wild shit, and this is going to be fucking, everything's going to fucking blow up. Yeah. Woosah, we're good. Anyways, so Harriet Tubman was in my opinion, was a very great woman. She sacrificed, she did what she needed to do, and she knew the fucking risk of doing this. Because for her to do this, she was literally life and death the entire fucking time of every time she went across.
Every day.
Every single time.
Once it came out that she was being a spy and that she was helping slaves escape, then there was a target painted on her, and she still continued. I mean, she saved what, like over 500 different slaves or something she led to freedom, yeah?
I think 500 to 700 slaves she led to freedom. But the thing is, like, even after she was noticed and known and actually painted as this horrible person for the Confederate States when she was helping all these slaves free, she still kept doing it, knowing the risk. Not caring about herself, said everyone else needs to go to safety and have a fucking chance at a free life and a good life. That is a true hero, in my opinion. That's someone who's worth that, she should be up there on the board.
Yeah, because it's always in the face of adversity. That's like my daughter asking me about, like, what's being brave and, what's courage, because I introduced her to Courage the Cowardly Dog. And,
Lord.
Yeah, and she didn't understand why he was terrified of everything, but his name was Courage. I said, well, baby, that's called irony. But no, I was like, because being brave isn't not being scared. Being brave is still doing the right thing, even though you're scared shitless.
Yeah, that's true.
So, well, if you want to talk about Harriet Tubman being a hero and everything, like, what she did was amazing, but the fact that she continued to do it after she was already, like, outed, that is what really made her a brave hero at that point.
Yeah. I saw somebody in the chat say this, and I'm just going to clear it right now. You hate how Lincoln freed the slaves because he wanted to. It was byproduct. It was a byproduct. It was a byproduct of Cassius Clay. Cassius Clay was the one who literally incited the freedom of the slave movement before Lincoln even had the thought of it. He had so much support, so much fucking money behind it, everything like that. He inherited his family's land that had slaves, freed every fucking slave there the moment he had control of the fucking plantation, and then got fucking nothing but fucking pressure and fucking support, money, because everybody thought he was doing the right thing. And then went to Lincoln, was his running mate for the longest time. And then Lincoln kicked him off because he realized he was a real fucking threat to Lincoln. But now that all that support was coming to him, he had to keep going with it. And so it's like, oh, we win this war, we're freeing the slaves. That's the only reason why. That's the only reason why the slaves got freed by Lincoln. But nobody knows that. Nobody knows the history of that. And it's fucking crazy to me. But yeah. Yeah, correct. You're right. I don't hate it because of that. I think it's just foolish that people don't know history of America. That's what I don't like.
Especially those people that are so vocal about their, they care so much about their mission or whatever, but they don't even know
the basis of it.
Yeah, well, yeah, some of those missions have been being fought for many a year before they came around and got on Twitter and became a keyboard warrior.
Bro, I wish you could put everyone that's a keyboard warrior in their own little spaces, but you could go sit down with them, like put a glass pane in between them, like something like that, that you can't make sure they aren't going to get physically hurt. That way they can feel fucking safe because they need that to say their opinion. But no, put
But
it like
their
that.
opinions are usually recycled garbage.
Well, of course it is, because why don't you fucking put fucking facts in front of their goddamn faces? They just lose it and they're like, that's not how I feel. Fuck your feelings. It's not important.
If they
It's
knew the
not fucking
facts,
important.
they wouldn't be a keyboard warrior in the first place.
Agreed, agreed. I mean, I state facts all the time, and I just don't. Only time I ever interact with them is when they say some really outlandish shit, and I'm like, I gotta see why they're saying this, and then I do
Yeah.
my research on it. Just while they're doing this, like, am I wrong here? Let's look over here. Let me fact check my fucking self before I say this.
Yeah, another delusional idiot said something and now they're quoting it like it's fact.
Same thing with the aspect of who sold their own people into it for gold and shit in Africa. I mean, dude, in Africa at that time, it was meant. It was how it was. It's literally not going to change. Like literally, they felt if you conquered them, you owned them. That's just how it was. That made sense over there too, because it was about territory. It was about fucking reproducing. It was about product. It was about crops, produce. Like it's survival. And that's how they did things over there. That's how it meant. But you know, you can't blame one certain race for all that fucking shit when it was happening every fucking where.
Yeah, not well, yeah, racism, but
Racism is the thing,
racism
but
and
yeah.
slavery existed for thousands of years before, the East Atlantic slave trade even began.
Oh yeah, and I think it's funny because everybody just always harps on America on it and everything like that. It's like, do you know how many countries and places in the world were doing that?
The
But
pyramids were built by slaves.
oh yeah, they were, and I think it's fucking fantastic that nobody fucking wants to harp on that, but they want to fucking say that they're a wonder of the world, though.
I mean, and I guess they are a wonder of the world because they required ingenious engineering to build before a time when, because essentially they were built with the simple machines, right?
Yeah,
So
pulley,
like
lever
the
system, things like
yeah,
that.
yeah, tackle, block and tackle pulley, the inverted screw,
Yeah,
inverted plane. What's the hell's that thing called?
I can't remember.
Either way, they used the simple tools to do it, and it is, but it was Africans with African slaves. It was about, I mean, yeah, I don't have an opinion strongly about it other than because I have to say in modern times, but slavery is bad in general. But in those times, it wasn't also, they didn't even think about it as slavery. They just thought about it as we
It's
conquered
how
your
it is.
tribe, we took the land, we took the people, we're keeping the women and the children, and we're either going to kill them or sell them off. Like that was just
Yeah.
a way of life. It wasn't about ownership and oppression and all of that, which, and maybe that was because it was you want to call it a simpler time, a more barbaric time, if you will, but it wasn't about anything other than you lost.
Yeah, that's how it was. Like I said earlier, like you won the war, to the victor goes the spoils. And the spoils were everything. It wasn't like, you get this little territory here and there afterwards, like how we do war now. Like, we do war now, like, oh, they'll just pay you back because all the damages and stuff that you put into it. No, there it was like, they own us now. We do what they say now, or we die. That's it. That's it. And then usually it ended up the latter anyways because they get sold off or they get, taken advantage of, things like that, which are horrible, but it was part of how it is. There's still slavery going on today. But, nobody's talking about that shit. They're still talking about the past right now.
Well,
Like,
but I also
yeah.
think that that's, a very specific, because a lot of those places that still have it don't have the freedom like you do in America to be able to get on a soapbox, to be able to protest, to be able to actually talk about and bring these problems to light.
Oh, that's true. That's 100% true. It's just, we know it's still out there and they're still harping on the shit from the past instead of saying, hey, can we actually fix this? And why don't we get find us behind something that, means something more, instead of the instant spotlight bullshit. That's,
Well, and I mean, and there's a lot of ways to go about it. You got people like Akon. He's over there in Africa. He made his money off his records.
yep.
And now he's over in Africa providing electricity, water, cell phone towers,
Mm-hmm.
making sure that everyone can communicate and modernize. Like,
Yeah,
there's
that's good
different
on him.
ways that you can protest the way things used to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, talking about heroes,
Mhm.
I bet Akon is a hero to a lot of people.
He probably is because he provided them with something that we come to be normal and average here, to them over there is like basically like gold. It's basically like being, I don't want to say like God, but be close to that, because
Yeah.
like a savior to them, instead of
Well,
having to struggle and like be like, I don't have a roof over my head, I don't have running water, and he's providing that thing. So that's a fucking fantastic thing
you
that he's
still
done.
have people in Africa that are living in
In
essentially
huts,
huts, and they're drinking goat blood, and they're still living like the old days, but they're not old days to them. They're their modern everyday life. So when you have someone like that come in, then I imagine, not only a quality of life bump, but you're bringing in opportunity. You're bringing in the ability to make change and do something different that you're not taking for granted. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, I know what you mean. That's a good thing. Let's see here. I have a couple. Do you have any heroes yourself that aren't? I'm sure that you like be like, hey, what about this guy? Because you didn't bring him up yet, something like that.
I mean, so personally, I'm a big fan of Charles Dickens all around.
Okay.
He's the reason why I write. He just, I don't know, check him out. He's an interesting guy. As far as other heroes are concerned, I mean, don't ever tell my brother, but I find my brother to be a little bit of a hero because he did, he essentially joined the Marines in what, 04, oh
Yeah,
five.
I think. Oh,
He was 17, and then the first thing he did, he went to boot camp, then he went to Camp Lejeune, and then they shucked his ass off to the desert. And he did tours in Iraq and Afghanistan, and he's come back, and he's told some stories. A lot of it he can't talk about and stuff. But I know my brother, and it is so hard to see him. It's so hard to what's the word, like, it's so hard to equivalate my brother with the person that's over there getting shot at. And I mean, I don't think he did anything crazy. I think he was literally like a machine gunner, like helper dude. He was the guy that fed belts, but in particularly for Humvee convoys. Okay, so he's survived IEDs. He's seen little kids with chest bombs, vest bombs. He's seen all this stuff, and he's telling me about it. And he's telling me about how he's out there. He's doing this, fighting for, because I mean, like they essentially sell you the line of, you're doing this for your country, whatever, whatever. And I believe that, and he believes that, and he's telling me. So I kind of find him to be a hero in some ways, just because he did something that I could never do. I spent 6 years in college and got a master's degree. He spent 6 years in Iraq getting shot at and watching his friends blow up.
yeah,
Like, to me, that makes him a hero. Now all he wants to do is smoke flower and chill. You know what I mean? And I feel like he's earned that. And
yeah,
he puts fences up for people. Like, I find him to be heroic, if not a hero, just because when I try to justify the difference in the way our lives went, even though we both came from the same place, I find that what he did is very heroic. Just like what you did, just like anybody in the military. I'm a big fan and supporter of the military and anyone that supports the military. What really pisses me off are when people talk shit about you guys. Like in some way you were the one that chose to go somewhere and go to war with somebody. Like you had any choice in that, and you weren't just shoved on a fucking plane with a gun and said go.
yeah. I I think it's funny because some people, and he's like, I could never do that. I was like, and I look at him like, I know.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that was rude. It's like, no, it's not rude. It's, you don't think about it like we do. For me, it's like you don't have that bond or that control of knowing, I will do this and I'm going to get through it. And I'll find any way to do it, any way possible to do it, to make sure that my boys come back, make sure we're good, and make sure we can just keep doing this and keep rocking and keep rolling. You just not have to worry about a goddamn thing again. And everybody's like, oh, yeah, thank you for your service. And that's the thing that pisses me the fuck off more than anything else. When somebody says, thank you for your service, because it goes in my head every fucking time someone says that, of, well, Trace ain't back, so you can't thank him. He's the one who fucking died for it. I came back. Like, nobody puts that into perspective. They're like, we want to show our respects, and then just treat
Yeah,
me decent. That's it.
but that doesn't change it. They are trying to be respectful to you.
I know, but it's just one of those things in my head, man. I'm just like, just
I
shut the
mean,
fuck up. Just be like
yeah, but that's
cool.
a personal thing because I also do that. How else do you say, "Hey, thanks for going and killing people for our sake"?
Yeah, I
You
get
say
that, but
thank you for your service. You don't say thanks for fucking killing them. You're like, oh, hey,
That's why.
man, thanks for killing those dudes. Or, hey, man, thanks for going and having all your friends die and then come back and be survivor's guilt. You don't say that shit. You say
I
thank you
know,
for your service.
I know, but it's just one of those things of like, to me, if somebody asks me, it's like, are you happy to be back here? And I have to stop myself from answering the way I want to because I know people won't understand it or grasp it. So I'm like, it's okay being back here. That's fine.
Yeah, but you're also trying to you're also perpetrating people for not being able to understand your perspective as much as you are not able to understand a beaten spouse
Yeah,
or a victim of childhood abuse. Like you can't understand them. They have their own things, but unless you went through that yourself, that's impossible. So a regular person knows you served and they say thank you for your service, Terry. You don't be a dick to them. You
I'm
say,
not a
yeah,
dick to them. I just say like you don't have to do that. All I say is like you don't have to do that. That's all I say. That's it. I try not to come off as a fucking blunt asshole about it,
yeah,
but I
but they
say,
want to. They want to do that because how else do they tell you that they support you in what you did?
no,
Well, then you fucking let them say thank you for your service.
I don't like gratitude given to me for any fucking thing
I was
at
about to say
all.
that's like saying thank you for the meal and you saying, "Oh, I cooked some shit. Don't say thanks."
Yeah, that's exactly what I fucking do.
That's wrong. Learn to be a human.
You know what? You sound just like PL right now,
Like who?
boss lady, the one that's usually sitting up here. Yeah, you sound like her because she's like, you need to learn to let allow that to happen. It's like, why? She's like, just because you did it and you just like, okay, cool, I did this, now I'm done. Doesn't mean they won't say thank you. It's like I don't get why they need to say thank you. Don't grasp it at all. It doesn't make sense to me.
Because when you come to my house and you eat dinner, you say thank you because I put my love into cooking whatever that meal was.
Okay.
You put your love into shooting some dudes and watching your friends die and come back,
Jesus
and I
fucking
say
Christ! You
thank you
said
for
put
that.
your love into that shit.
Okay? All
Yeah.
right?
All right,
It
I got you. I got you.
okay,
Okay.
listen, don't fuck around.
I fuck around all the goddamn time, man.
I know.
I,
I'm just saying.
I find out all the goddamn time too.
You need the strength to accept what you can't change. And in society, we've said that the way you thank service members is by saying thank you for your service because you're a fucking service member who went and provided a service that was awful and heroic and horrible. And then you came back with all your own fucking problems and someone said, thanks, Terry.
Yeah,
You fucking asshole.
100%. Let's see here. I had somebody else. So you thought your brother, which just makes sense. He went through Iraq, OEF, which is Afghanistan as well. So yeah, that was definitely a hard time. God damn it, Connie, you know exactly what you did. Don't do that. I appreciate you, but don't do that. But yeah, it's one of those times I think for myself, and I know for especially after last week, someone I put on that fucking mantle always is probably gonna be Wade because if it wasn't for him and his encouragement through, I think it was 2 deployments first, and saying like he was like, do you want to go back? I said, oh, dude, I love it over there. He's like, are you okay? And I was like, and then I had my first loss over there. And I came back and called him and talked to him. We were on the phone for I think 5 hours, and I think he had finals to do too at that time, and he's like, yeah. He's like, and I told him, like, dude, if you need to get off the phone, go ahead. He's like, no, I'm good. I'm neither here. This is fine. And so it was really fantastic time doing that. And like, he helped me get through some hard things that I wasn't ready to even accept.
Right.
Yeah. So he's on that board. And then I have a couple more. But yeah.
Speaking of skills for the zombie apocalypse, everyone's going to be traumatized. We're going to need a psychologist or a therapist. They might not be able to contribute in other ways, but they can help all you other psychos with your problems so you can get through the day and kill some zombies.
Kill some zombies is crazy. Help you get through your days and kill some zombies. Fantastic. But yeah, I think the zombie thing, if a zombie apocalypse happened, I would enjoy it a little too much.
I do also, but I've also had this conversation with my wife before.
Yeah.
She would be the reason I die.
What do you mean? Oh yeah, for sacrificing yourself for her.
Yes, because she is going to be doing something, not be aware, going to be overly loud, going to be like upset about our reality,
You
just
also have a
something.
baby. You also have a fresh, brand new baby too.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's different. This was just when it was just me and my wife before we had any kids. She's gonna get me killed because we're gonna need to be running or something, and she's gonna trip because she has a coordination of a dead
Man,
cow.
put her in a goddamn wagon and just go.
Yeah, and just pull it. That's what I'm gonna have to do with all of our kids, and I'm gonna die anyway. So,
I'm gonna have a heart attack pulling the buggies.
yup.
I can see this shit right now.
And that's
Forrest
the
Gump in
worst
it.
part because as soon as I die, they're all dead.
Yeah. Maybe
I
not. I
can
don't know.
only hope that as they get older, like my wife won't let me buy my daughter a gun. She's gonna
Hmm.
turn 6 next summer, and I want to get her a single shot 22. Okay,
Yeah.
like, and we do gun safety at home and stuff like that, you know.
Poor
But she's
dads. This is
also
great.
5, okay, and she won't let me get her a gun yet, so I'm gonna end up doing it anyway. But
That's funny.
yes, exactly. Your daughter will 100% get you killed because they're going to be upset about just some fucking benign shit, man. Like, hey, if they hear you crying about this dumb thing that you were crying about, they're going to bust in through that wall and fucking eat our necks off, okay? Like, we're so dead.
Oh,
But it doesn't
see,
matter.
here's the thing with that. If you like, especially if you have time to prepare. Okay, let's say you have time to prepare. Okay, I'm going to tell you this: invest in one soundproof room at least.
Cry room, huh?
Steel door, everything. Just that one room. But if it comes down to it, make sure that you get in that room, take them in there, tell them, let it all out right now. Let it all right now. Because the moment we have to get out of here, because there's going to be a timer on the door, because air, everything like that, especially when it's secure, it's going to be a hermetically sealed room. You're going to be like, cool, we got to move. Let it out now. You let it out of your system, process it. Okay, you good? You good? You good? Children, just run,
Yep.
and just
Yep.
pick whichever one of you's holding the baby.
Yeah, no, and that's hard in those apocalypse scenarios. How do you tell your kid, put on your big girl panties? There's a time and a place to break down and snot cry,
Yeah,
but this is not the ugly cry time. This is the run and die trying time. You're going to have two options in front of you and maybe a third, and it's either going to be cry here and die,
yeah,
run and die trying.
okay.
Or if you picked option B, there might be the chance that you get away. Like, and that's just that's really hard to justify. So full circle back to Wade slash psychologist in the apocalypse. You need someone to talk to because I can tell you right now, Terry, zombie apocalypse. You're definitely not going to be the motherfucker I'm coming to talk to when I had a bad day.
Absolutely fucking not. Don't ever do that. I would tell you, like, I'm like, is this some emotional shit? Like, do you need one of those moments right
I
now?
need a
Okay, cool.
hug, Terry.
Cool. I'm gonna look at you and I'm gonna pull at you and be like, have you met Savage? Because I'm out here killing fucking zombies and he's probably doing it too, but he has a wife, so he's home more. So you can go talk to him and his wife. Have fun.
I love how you assume we're in a compound and there's not just 14 of us plowed up in a house somewhere struggling to survive.
Y'all might be.
Y'all might be. Look at him. Look at him. Because he already knows the future. He
No,
sees
it's
it.
not another future. It's just I have things in my head and how things work out, and I
And what
make
do we
sure
know
that it's
about
a
plans?
failure.
And what
I
do we
no,
know
I
about plans?
listen to what I'm about to fucking say. I'm about to say something about failure, bitch. Anyways, I plan on all of them to fail, and if it goes to that standpoint, I know, okay, cool. I'm just fucked. I'm gonna make a goddamn grand spectacle, and nobody's gonna miss it. And I'm taking as many things with me as possible.
Yeah, exactly, Storm Chaser.
Oh my god!
Exactly.
Look! This is like the fucking second or third
That's how he
time
wins
I've
arguments. He
screamed
just
today.
screams. He just screams, okay?
I don't just scream. I'm just a very loud, passionate person. That's
I'm just
all it
saying,
is.
we both know that plans last until enemy contact, okay? That
Exactly,
is
100%. But it's like if it's a
okay.
zombie and it's like the slow Walking Dead kind of zombies, bro, that's too much time. Too much time to deal with stuff. I'm like, okay, cool.
I
Like
feel
unless
you,
it's like a
but
horde, then like too
that's the
much.
thing with the slow shuffling zombies. Everyone's like, because of course I also want rigor mortis zombies. I want them to be slow and shuffling, but it's the sheer volume of them that is the problem. It's not their speed.
I
And
got a
if they're
question for
like,
you.
what?
No, finish. I got a question for you.
I was gonna say, if it's like World War Z zombies, oh, we're fucked. Like, They're fast, and there's a horde of them. Like, what are you gonna do?
You're right. There's a question for you. Let's say we're all in a little compound thing, okay?
All right,
Okay. One of the guys there has a bite mark on him. You notice it, okay?
shoot him.
Instantly.
Hell yeah, fuck him.
Hell yeah, love that.
What
Fantastic.
the fuck? Yeah, that's the guy. That's
Do
the
you
guy.
do you know how many people said I would just let him out of the gate?
Why? So that all the other ones can get in? No, you shoot that
Um,
motherfucker
I
and
look at them
give
and
him
was
a
like,
funeral.
all right, so we're all dead. We're all fucking dead.
Right, right.
So
No,
no.
and I told my wife too, if I get bit, put a bullet in me. Or give me the gun. I'll do it so you don't have to live with it, okay? But I'm
Yeah.
gone, okay? That's it.
Oh yeah,
Because
absolutely.
I don't
That's
want you to cut my shit off. If I get bit on the forearm and you cut my arm off, first off, where the fuck is the hospital, the clean room? No, I'm going to get gangrene and die anyway, just horribly afterwards, all right?
we're being realistic. I was just like, it was like, oh, we can cut the leg off. No, end it. End that shit.
Yup,
No,
it's done.
end it.
It's done. Don't find out if I'm immune, okay?
Oh yeah,
Statistically not plausible.
it is, but it's a funny thing because you see people and they want to be so hopeful, and I look at them, and that's why I realize I am fucked up because I'm like, you know, everybody's like, oh yeah, you just try to save everybody. I was like, so I'll try to save this one person. I'm like, nah, fuck them, not over everybody else. Fuck them. One, the needs of one don't outweigh the needs of the many when you're in a scenario like that ever, and never will.
It can't, because that's not how society's built. And you can't build a new society in an apocalypse by weighing some more than others either, which is an argument to education and making sure that as much as everyone needs to be able to read, everyone needs to be able to shoot in between the fucking eyes.
But I find that most people don't really have any gun training or any kind of, even for fun or sport. A lot of people don't do it.
I want to get a blueprint of our house and put
Yeah.
all of the sight lines and stuff, like where obvious places of entry are and all that for like a home invasion. My wife's not into it. She lets me take her to the range sometimes and I show her, gun safety and all that and like how to aim and shoot. Yeah, but also she doesn't know if someone's coming in the front door, like, you can't just shoot discriminately down the hall. First off, there's kids' rooms, all right? If someone's
She,
coming into the bedroom, you can't shoot them because if you shoot them, it's going to go straight through them and into our children's bedroom. It doesn't work like that. Where you're shooting matters because it's just like when you punch somebody. You don't punch someone in the face, you punch through their face. That's the most effective way to punch them. So
yeah.
when you're shooting, you got to think about where your bullet's going after you've killed the thing. Killing them is the assumption you shot them.
And if you have good aim.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
practice. That's practice. That's not something someone can teach you. I can tell you to aim down the fucking sights properly, but until you practice and get a feel for it, it's not going to matter.
If his wife is shooting, yes, everybody hit the deck.
Fuck that. If you're shooting, everybody hit the deck. You can't control ricochets. I don't give a fuck how good a shot you are.
You can. You can know it, especially it matters what your house is made of though. That's the big thing.
Yeah, but nobody knows that information, Terry. No one is in a hot situation and they're like, I better be
Wait, am
careful.
I the fucking weird one here that actually fucking researches that shit?
Yes, you are a weirdo, a wackadoodle.
Oh my god. There's something wrong with y'all people. Nobody cares.
I assume they're studs and sheetrock.
Yeah.
But it could go in and hit a metal cap that's holding like bracing wood together, and it could ricochet off of that. Probably won't. It's probably soft steel, but once again, I don't control ballistics. You don't control ballistics, so if it does ricochet, so Storm Chaser gets all the points here for hit the deck.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways, so I'm the weird one here because I do stuff like that. We've accomplished that. Obviously, I'm the one that's not supposed to be the therapist in case there was ever a survival thing at
Amen.
all. Storm said I hate it when she wins. I don't hate it when you win. I hate it when you make a point, not win. It's not a win yet, but that's assuming that it's over. We have time for a couple questions. So, yourself, if you have some questions for me. And actually, no. Oh, I fucked up. There's something I wanted to say. Fuck, where is it? There you go. So, another one of my heroes is H.M.2 Perez. He was a corpsman who lost his life in Afghanistan. His Helmand province was fucking amazing corpsman. Great man. He was awarded the bronze star with a V. And he was ambushed by 50 plus insurgents and Perez kept crossing over like 200 meters. I can't put that into like feet the right way right now, and literally kept evacuating people while he was doing this. And he evacuated and treated 4 Marines that had shrapnel wounds and said fuck his own life, he's going to keep them. He was such a good dude. He was part of 2-8. That was one of the last units I was with, and he was an amazing guy. That's one guy I would say definitely deserves to be on the wall of heroes for myself.
656 feet or over 200 yards.
Yeah.
That's 2 football fields. That's a
yeah. That was a fucking ruck, and that man did some fucking great fucking things. But yeah, that'd be it on my list. Open up chat and yourself for any questions you want to shoot at me. Anything's on the table as long as it's with TOS. Remember that. Please remember that. Thank you.
My question for you, Terry, is who hurt you?
When,
who made you this way?
When? How? Yeah,
I don't know.
go specifics. Like which one? Narrow down.
Okay, who made you a cynical asshole?
Can't say that.
I can't say cynical?
No. What was in the chat?
I only see the live stream chat. I don't know what chat you're talking about.
Well, Storm's in the Twitch chat. I said within TOS. For a reason. Go ahead. Why? Who hurt me? Go ahead.
Yeah, no. Who made you a cynical asshole? That's all.
Honestly, I think it'd probably have to be Teresa and who else? It wasn't my ex-wife. It was right after that. I think the divorce really fucked me up, and I just said fuck people for a while. If they weren't my boys, they weren't fucking important.
Okay. I mean, that got very real very fast, and it was mostly said in jest.
It's fine. No, dude. I'll answer any fucking thing, man. Let's think about it. And Storm, asking your preference. I don't have an alternative lifestyle. I am heterosexual, and I am never doing any other type of preference for myself either. That's just it. So there's your answer. Can we put Mio back in the basement, please? No. Okay, so he's been married to a woman. No, I'm not. That's why I said I'm not alternative lifestyle. And you knew I was married before. I said it. Unless you don't pay attention. Yeah. Next question, please. Go for it.
I don't have another one for you, honestly.
Anything and everything. Anybody in chat. Right. As long as it's in TOS. Storm. I'll say it again. Yeah, interesting isn't the right word. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Anything, man.
Where did you go to college at?
Ohio University.
Ohio University? Why Ohio?
It was a cybersecurity program meant for veterans. They were going through that for side thing of that. And then, funny thing about that, they did cybersecurity engineering and then Homeland Security with that as well. So I was like, cool, I want to do that. And the only reason I did Homeland Security is because an old master chief of mine told me, it's like, if you're going to cybersecurity, you might as well do Homeland Security, do with that. That way you can work fucking anywhere. You know the premise, you know the ground game, you know how everything works and how everything goes, and that it'll help you out in life too. I was like, cool. Did it, started getting the Homeland Security stuff, and I was like, this is fucking interesting.
Okay.
So yeah, so I did that. It was really, I enjoyed it a lot.
But Ohio kind of sucks, huh?
I did it all online, so I didn't have to go there. Yeah.
Okay.
Did not have to deal with any Ohio anything. That was fantastic.
Well, the school I went to, they sponsor a lot of hackathons.
Yeah.
And the CIA recruits directly out of there, so I get it as far as the whole hacker thing.
Yeah, it's ethical hacking. I don't do hacking to fucking,
First off, stop it. All right,
no.
Listen, you can't say, "Oh, I'm a white hat hacker," though.
No.
Like, bro, the only difference is because one of them is sanctioned and the other one's not. Like, okay, you're doing the same thing. That's like saying I'm a good murderer.
I'm not gonna fucking say that because I know it's gonna come back to bite me in the ass.
All right.
Look, I didn't break any laws. I didn't do anything against the rules.
Laws. In what country?
Stay within all the guidelines that say what I can and cannot do. I haven't done anything nefarious. I haven't done anything, that do anything rude or cruel. So nobody can say nothing about it.
It doesn't make it less illegal, though, Terry.
If I didn't break the law, I didn't do anything illegal.
But didn't break the law in what country?
Here. I said what I said.
I mean, okay, that's fair. But still, get out of here. Hacking is hacking, all right?
I see it as a gray area. That's just me.
Yeah, I see your perspective there, Storm Chaser. And yeah, it's actually even bigger than that. You just can't see it all on the camera.
We'll get them a camera that's gonna show off the whole thing, so they have it all nice and pretty. You know what I'm saying?
Just don't look at my desk, that's the biggest thing.
Your desk don't have a clean desk, huh?
No, it's chaos, just like the inner workings of my mind.
And Storm, you said sanctioned murder is still murder in your eyes. So you're saying, like, let's say deployment, things like that, is still murder to you, even though it's us or them kind of situations. I just want to know the standpoint because you asked, you stated it.
I mean, you are taking people's lives, and that is murder,
But it's
sanctioned or
them
not.
or is
Well, it's
them or
survival.
you
It's
survival.
survival.
So it's like one of those things, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like if
no,
they're
I get
shooting
it.
at you first, and you're like, do we just wait till they run out of ammo or rush us, or
Hey,
what? There's a
I
difference.
don't need to be deployed for that rule. If you shoot at me, I'm fucking shooting at you back.
Exactly. It's like self-preservation and the minimal.
Survival. That's the key thing, and I get it, but I don't condemn like
I don't condemn. I don't
I
condemn
do
anybody on
think
deployment for
do
it.
think that murder is murder, and when you kill somebody, you have committed murder. But I don't condemn you for that in the situation where they're literally shooting at you.
Yeah, yeah. I get what you're saying, Storm, but to me, it's one of those things. It's all situational. Like if you're doing it out of cold blood just for no reason, then yeah, it's murder. But if it's self-defense, then I wouldn't consider that. As considered saving your own skin. You know.
Yeah, I feel like in that situation also,
I'm
if
just
they
stating fact.
forced
Okay,
you,
cool, gotcha. Yeah,
yeah,
they force your hand on that one. They don't
right.
literally. It wasn't an option given. It's like, hey, we're going to shoot at you if you don't move from over here to over there. Now we know. Over there, it's just like we're just there, and we get shots popped at us, and we're just like, oh, we're doing this. Fantastic. Fucking Ryan on the side, fucking taking a piss or something like that. And he's just fucking freaking the fuck out. Sorry, dude, this fucking story's fucking great. He's like, I got a piss. Like, oh, there, go right there. Take a piss. Here, pop shot come off. He just starts yelling. He's like, oh my God. It's like, what? He's like, I can't pull my pants up. So seeing him run around the fucking dudes, fucking with his pants down, just running, trying to get behind the Humvee. I'm sorry. I'm fucking dying laughing the whole fucking time. It's fucking great.
Yeah, no, that is true. Don't wing them, and don't put one in the head and two to the chest, because then their family can make the point that you were trained and you purposely killed them. The correct answer is empty the clip, center mass.
Yeah.
Maybe not in real life, but according
Yeah.
to what Walking Apocalypse here is saying about Castle Law.
Yeah, it matters. There's also every state's different with that.
Correct.
Every state is completely different with that. Like in Texas, if they turn their back, you better not.
Right.
You better not.
Right. Well, I think there's also depends on that too, because in Texas, theoretically, if my land is posted no trespassing and you
Yep.
trespass on it, I could just put a bullet in your ass.
Yeah, but you'll have to go through so much tape to fucking win that one because they have their back was turned, things like that. That's the reason why.
Well,
They're like, what if they were leaving? It's like, what if they were leaving? It's like, man, I'm pretty sure they weren't until they heard the first shot. It's like one of those things like that, you know?
I
But
mean,
yeah.
yeah, I was 300 yards away when I fired the first shot. It gave him a minute to turn and run.
Jesus fucking Christ, you're ridiculous. All right, nobody has any other questions, anything like that? Then we're going to send it. Let's see here. Let's go here. Connor's not on anymore. Let's see here. Let's see it. Let's see. Mute tab. Who is live? Let's see.
Well, thanks for having me again on another sweet episode of Join the Raid.
You got one more.
I know.
Yeah, you got one more. They're just talking. Cool. Let's see here.
I want to come back when you do that. Your next religious.
Oh, the religious one?
Yeah.
I gotta find the right people that are okay with how I prod. Because a lot of people get really self-defensive real fast because I tend to attack instead of, talk. Oh, well, nice you told Mr. Savage right there.
Yep.
Maybe stop yelling, for instance. What do you mean, maybe stop yelling, for instance? I'm not even yelling. I raised my voice. That's fucking it. I'm not fucking yelling. I'm about to start yelling. Y'all really want to see me fucking yelling and shit? I'm gonna fucking lose my shit on you motherfuckers. It's just an inside voice.
It's so aggressive.
100% inside voice.
It's so aggressive.
Maybe everybody stop being so goddamn sensitive.
Listen, and that's your go-to right there. Instantly.
It is
a problem because you don't know how to talk like a civilized human.
Civilized human is crazy.
You're the one that pushed us to this place.
I didn't push anybody to nothing. I didn't do shit yet. Maybe stop yelling, for instance. Oh, what do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? Oh, what'd I miss? Is he
Ooh,
alive
you know
now?
what?
Storm Chaser is an acquaintance, maybe friend one day. I don't know yet. She doesn't like me though. She hates me
It's weird
a
when you
lot.
say it like that, for the record.
Why?
I don't know, you just said it weird. For
You live in Texas too, right? You can answer that question. Thank you so much for your chats. Thank you so much for your involvement. Thank you so much for coming to Join the Rate podcast tonight live. It's been a fantastic time talking about heroes. We didn't talk about all of them because we got sidetracked and talked about whatever we fucking wanted to. Guess what? It's okay. It's our show. We can do what the fuck we want. Have a great night. Next week, we're going to have fun with learning about financial stuff and crypto because I don't know shit about it. So it's going to be a fucking fantastic time.